Hi, this is Cheryl with the Cut at Home design team. I'm so excited today to be able to introduce you to the Tattered Lace. It's a magazine, but I use that word very, very loosely because it's way more than a magazine. It's an awesome resource for paper crafters. I'm going to show you a lot of features I love as we work through this magazine. I'm going to spend quite a bit of time with you on this one issue to show you one from cover to cover, and then a few features I like out of some of the other magazines published by them. Number one thing I like, and not the only thing I like, by the way, they give you free dies. There's always a free die here on the cover. Let me show this to you. This happened to be a birthday sentiment that says, "May your birthday be filled with love and laughter," and some flower dies. Way too fun. Let me show you the sentiment itself. This is what that looks like. It's very, very easy to use. It's all one piece, so it's easy to cut, easy to attach, no problems there. Better yet, let me show you it on a card. Very, very easy to read, and what a nice sentiment for your birthday cards. I did not have time to make the flowers, but I'll show you those in just a second as we travel through the magazine. So front cover gives you a preview of what you might expect in the issue. When you turn to the inside, of course, you've got the table of contents, but the very first feature in the magazine deals with the dies that you've been given with the issue. So they'll show you again up in the corner what they are. I'm just going to pull this closer for a minute so you can see this beautiful flower. That's the flower dies that are there for you. They're absolutely gorgeous. And of course you saw the sentiment. This one's a glittered sentiment, so they apparently cut it out of like a double stick tape and then added the glitter. So there's actually several pages here of card ideas to use with this particular free die, and then a full page feature on how to make the flower. So you can't get much better than that. They really, really show you everything you need to show. Then the rest of the magazine is devoted to some projects using various tattered lace dies. Yes, they use mostly tattered lace things or exclusively tattered lace, particularly in the later issues when they had more dies available, but you can apply this to your other die sets. Once you learn the things that they're trying to teach you, there's many, many other ways you can apply it. So this is using their Adele die set. They're showing you that there's more than one way to use a single die. And so here there's 3 or 4 different projects featuring just that one die set. Now let's stop at another feature of the magazine that I really appreciate. This is using an Adele panel. So it's an overall panel. I'm not sure the size because these are European dies, and Europeans don't so much stick with A2 cards as much as we do. But it's showing you from the panel, you can do all of these things to cut a borderless panel. This is what it takes to go from the border to the borderless. This is what it takes to cut a border from the entire panel. This is what it takes to make a corner. So you don't need to buy these additional dies. You just pull it from the die that you've got. And then the last idea is to make a frame with it. And they give you the instructions to do it. So it's about seeing the components in your dies and pulling things apart to make other things of them. I love that. There's, again, we're featuring a different die here, the Floral Crescent. It's going to give us a couple suggestions on how to use the Floral Crescent die. The Tudor Rose die comes next. And again, with this one, how to cut it apart and do various things with that single die. So now we're into Tudor Rose, a couple of different card ideas here. Again, we're going to show how to cut things apart, make different things from it. I love that feature alone is so worth it because it's made me look at my dies in a different way and come up with other uses. Here's another project. The magazine also has tips, and I love these. This particular tip is how to use your labels dies. This is Spellbinders Labels 14, so it's not exclusive Tattered Lace. To put that together with your inks and make this cloudy background. So there's lots of things that you can learn from the magazine as well. Here's a template for a project that comes up later in the magazine. And so they don't just focus on buy our die for this, buy our die for that. They actually give you templates that you can use to make particular projects here. Now in the center, another feature I love, there's cardstock you can use. I was going to call it patterned paper, but it's not just paper. This is cardstock. So it's good quality. It's the kind that you would use in your card making. Always pretty, always related somehow to the dies that they're featuring in the magazine, but a great assortment. There's nothing that I found in an issue that I wouldn't use on something. So I'm just sort of flipping through this fairly quickly so you get a feel for it. On the other side of the pattern paper, we have another template, this time for a birdhouse, and the project is right behind. This is the birdhouse project here, and they've given you the template for it so that you can make this at home. You can use other flowers to decorate it. They're using common products that we have here, the Tim Holtz Distress Inks and that sort of thing. It's a great, great magazine. Did you notice an advertisement yet? It's not full of them. It's full of ideas. I love that. This is using their 60s card die. Wouldn't be my first choice. But you know what? Lots of great ideas on how to use that die in this magazine. If you do guy cards, great, great suggestions. And again, we're going to show how to cut apart that car and do other things with it. I love those ideas. We've got the Birdhouse Heights die. So 5 or 6 different dies. The various types of cards you can do with it. Again, if you don't have the die, it's okay. You can think about what you have that you could use in the same way. Lots and lots of suggestions. Here's that circle rocker card, that first template that we saw. Now we finally see it in the magazine, but we've got the pattern so that it can be made. There's a lot of cute cards that they've done here. This is another circle card that gives you the stand-up. Beautiful. Great ideas, great instructions, all easy to follow, that sort of thing. We're into, let's see, a different die here, the Kew Gardens die. Again, continuing through the same features for each. Now the magazine's transitioned over time, so some of the earlier ones maybe don't have all these features or quite as many of them, but they're all very nice magazines. Finally, here's another tip or technique. This shows you how to take a piece of pattern cardstock already and make a heavily distressed background. So you don't have to have the perfect paper, you can make it. So I love this issue. Again, this is issue number 10. I was attracted to it because of the flower dies that came with it, but I also love the sentiment. I didn't think I would. May your birthday be filled with love and laughter. I was afraid you couldn't read it because I have trouble reading it here. But it's beautiful on a card. It really makes a statement. Now let me show you just a couple of things in these other issues. This is a more current issue. This is issue number 21. It actually came with 2 dies, the long-stemmed rose and then the secret mystery die, which I couldn't tell you, but it might look like a doily. It's beautiful. What I wanted to show you in this magazine is this cute little die that's available on the Cut at Home website right now. These Christmas owls and all the fun stuff that they did with it. So if you buy the Christmas owl die, you might want to purchase issue 21 of Tattered Lace, and you can see all the fun projects. I was going to pass up that die until I saw everything in here that you could do with it and all of the great ideas that exist. So I just love them. Look at those hats pulled over their little eyes. It's just a darling die and lots of great ideas. Look at this. There's 5 or 6 ideas on how to use that die. And then again, as usual, they're telling us how to cut them apart and make other things. Just 2 owls, a holly branch only, just the hats, just the pieces of holly. There is lots of choices. Again, that's what I wanted to show you on that magazine. This issue is an early issue. This is issue number 2. And what I wanted to show you in this issue is this beautiful wedding shoe. This is an example of the type of projects that you will see in the magazine. All the pieces, parts are here for you to do this. Of course, it uses some of their dies, but it has the basics. I'm trying to get back to this. It has all the basics in a template form for you to construct that shoe. So there's some beautiful projects in here, and they're not out of reach. It's not as though you're going to have to buy 5 or 6 tattered lace dies to pull them off. They give you the basics for everything, and you just have to fill in the blanks with what you have at home. They don't have to be precise. This is issue number 11, and what I wanted to show you about issue number 11 is a couple of things. First of all, the die that we got with this issue was a set of flowers, and I'm going to reach for that. This is what that looks like. So it's a layered flower. We all have those from other manufacturers, so you can do a lot with it. First thing I wanted to show you with this is that what they do in the magazine is very relatable to other dies you have. You've noticed a lot of manufacturers right now are coming out with the 3 little windows, or either round or square, that sort of thing. So there's ideas in the magazine you can relate to your other manufacturer dies. But with respect to that die that they gave us on the front page, they call it a 16 flower die. And that's because you can make a tulip, a carnation, a poppy, a bluebell, a daisy, a peony, a cornflower, a rosebud, a half-open rose, a full-open rose, a fuchsia, a chrysanthemum, a daffodil, a hydrangea, a lily, and I guess that's it. I guess that was enough. And they have great little tips on how to shape your leaves and your flowers and that sort of thing. But these are all very plausible flowers, and I didn't have to buy 16 different die sets to get there. So that's what I love about the magazine. Lots and lots of different ideas, no matter what you're working with. Again, you may have the tattered lace die, you may choose to purchase it. Even if you don't, you can apply these ideas to the projects that you're working with your other die manufacturers. So keep these in mind. They're a great product. You'll find them under the tattered lace category. They're, I think once you've seen them now, they're very affordably priced for what you get. Lots and lots of great ideas. If you look at the descriptions, many of those will tell you what's covered in the issue, the particular dies that are featured, and that sort of thing. It's kind of nice to have a magazine that gives you ideas on a die that you already have, or maybe one you're interested in. So pick up a Tattered Lace magazine. I think you'll get addicted like me. I know that you'll love them. And again, remember the special bonus. You get these free dies. I love that. Thanks for watching. Bye.